Hello, my name is Lisa. Today, I want to tell you a special story, my story. It's about love, pain, and forgiveness. I hope you listen carefully because this story will help you learn English in an easy way. Now, let's begin. I grew up in a small, beautiful town with green fields and tall trees all around. Life was simple and happy. I had many friends, but one friend was more special than anyone else. His name was Ethan. Ethan and I had been friends since we were little kids. We played together, studied together, and laughed together. He was kind, funny, and always knew how to make me smile. As we grew older, something changed. Our friendship became deeper. We spent more time together, and I started to realize something: I loved him. One sunny afternoon, Ethan and I sat under our favorite tree. The tree had big, wide branches, and its shade felt cool and peaceful. The wind gently moved the leaves, and the birds sang softly. As we talked, my heart started to beat faster. I looked at Ethan, and for the first time, I felt brave enough to tell him how I felt. I took a deep breath. "Ethan," I said quietly, "I think I love you." My hands shook a little, and I waited nervously for his answer. Ethan looked at me with wide eyes, surprised, but then he smiled gently. "I love you too, Lisa," he said. My heart felt so full of joy, warmth, and happiness. From that day, Ethan and I became We became a couple and promised to always be honest with each other, to take care of one another no matter what. Life felt perfect, and I believed our love would last forever. But one day, something changed. Ethan started acting differently. He didn't call me as much, and his smile wasn't the same. When he looked at me, I felt something was wrong, but I didn't know what. One evening, as I walked through the park, I saw Ethan talking to another girl. Her name was Emma. She was new in town, and she was beautiful. At first, I thought they were just friends, but then I saw them laughing together and holding hands. My heart sunk. I stood there frozen. My chest tightened, and I felt a lump in my throat. I didn't know what to do. I felt sad, angry, and confused all at once. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind was full of questions. Why was Ethan with her? Was I not enough? The next day, I decided I needed to talk to him. "Ethan," I asked quietly, "why are you spending so much time with Emma? Don't you love me anymore?" Ethan looked at the ground. He didn't speak right away. For a moment, there was only silence between us. Finally, he said, "Lisa, I don't know what to say. I think I like Emma, but I still care about you." His words felt like a sharp knife cutting into my heart. I stared at him, unable to believe what I was hearing. I trusted Ethan. I loved him. But now, he was breaking my heart. Tears filled my eyes, and I couldn't stop them from falling. I turned and ran home, the cold evening air stinging my face. I locked myself in my room and cried for hours. My heart felt heavy, and my mind raced with thoughts I couldn't control. Why did this happen? Was I not good enough? The days that followed were the hardest of my life. I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to talk. It felt like my whole world had fallen apart. Everywhere I looked, I thought of Ethan and Emma, and it hurt more than I could explain. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them together, and the pain was unbearable. But then, I remembered something my grandmother once told me. Lisa, she said, life is full of challenges, but every challenge teaches us something important. Her words stayed with me. I decided to face my pain instead of running from it. That night, I started writing in my diary. Every evening, I wrote about my feelings, the sadness, the anger, the confusion. Pouring my heart onto paper helped, even if just a little. I also talked to my best friend, Mia. She listened patiently, holding my hand as I cried. When I finished, she hugged me tightly and said, "Lisa, you are strong. Don't let this break you. You deserve someone who truly loves you." Her words gave me hope. I began focusing on myself. I took long walks in the park, letting the fresh air clear my mind. I read books that lifted my spirit and filled my heart with courage. I even joined a dance class, something I had always wanted to try. Slowly, I began to heal. But deep inside, something still felt missing. I realized I needed to find peace. I needed to forgive Ethan, not for him, but for myself. One afternoon, while walking in the park, I saw him. Ethan sat alone on a bench, staring at the ground. I felt nervous, but something inside me whispered, "It's time." I took a deep breath and walked toward him. As I got closer, he looked up, his eyes widening with surprise. "Lisa," he said softly, I'm sorry." His words caught me off guard. I hadn't expected him to apologize. Ethan continued, his voice full of regret. "I made a mistake. I hurt you, and I'm so sorry for that. You didn't deserve this." I looked at him closely. For the first time, I saw the sadness in his eyes and the guilt he carried. For a moment, I didn't know what to say. Then, I took a deep breath and whispered, "Ethan, what you did hurt me deeply, but I don't want to carry this pain forever. I forgive you." As I said those words, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. Forgiving Ethan didn't mean I forgot what happened. It didn't mean everything was suddenly okay. But it meant I was ready to let go of the anger and sadness I had been holding inside. Ethan looked at me, his eyes soft with relief. "Thank you, Lisa," he said. We sat there and talked for a while. We decided to move forward, not as the couple we once were, but as friends. I knew things would never be the same, and that was okay. That night, I felt a sense of peace I hadn't felt in a long time. Forgiving Ethan wasn't easy, but it was the right thing to do. Life didn't go back to how it was before, but I realized it didn't have to. I had learned something important: heartbreak is a part of life, but it doesn't define who we are. I started focusing on my dreams. I wanted to help others who might be feeling the same pain I had felt, so I began volunteering at a community center, teaching children how to read and write. Every time I saw their bright smiles, I felt joy. Helping others reminded me how much happiness there is in the world, if we open our hearts to it. Ethan and I stayed friends, but I no longer needed him to feel happy. I found happiness within myself. I discovered that I was stronger than I had ever thought. One day, I met someone new. His name was Ryan. Ryan was kind, honest, and caring. He treated me with respect and made me feel valued. This time, I took things slowly. I had learned from my past, and I was ready to start fresh. Looking back, I feel grateful for everything that happened. Yes, my heart broke, but it taught me to be strong. It taught me to forgive, to heal, and to grow. Now, I share my story with others, hoping it will inspire them. If you are listening to this, remember, life isn't always easy, but you are never alone. No matter how much pain you feel, there is always a way to heal. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps you not only to learn English but also to find hope and courage in your own life.